You out there, legal warriors, driver's licenses. Did you know there are 4 things you need to know to make sure your driver's license never gets suspended? If you're interested in that area of the law, stay tuned because this is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear, and I'm a defense attorney in Lynnwood, Washington. My law firm's been defending people charged with crimes for more than 20 years, and I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this video useful, please like and please subscribe. More people will get the help they need. Now I'm just going to jump right into it. There are 4 critical ways that mistakes that people can make that end up with their driver's license getting suspended, and many people don't know what causes a driver's license suspended, and sadly many people don't learn their license is suspended until they get pulled over by a police officer, and sometimes they're taken to jail. Right, you're driving along with your family, you see lights behind you, you don't know why, and all of a sudden you're pulled over and taken to jail. So I want you to know these 4 ways that driver's licenses get suspended, the 4 mistakes people make that lead to suspension of licenses. Now, number 1 is people forget to pay their tickets. If in Washington State, if you get a traffic infraction, a non-crime, and you either don't respond to the ticket, typically you have 15 days to either contest it, which means fight about it, mitigate it, which means ask for a lesser penalty, or pay it. If you don't do that within 15 days of the date of the ticket, there's going to be an FTR, failure to respond, sent to the Department of Licensing, and the Department of Licensing is going to suspend your driver's license. Now, they're supposed to send out a notice to tell you about it, but if your address isn't updated, or if you don't check your mail, or you just don't get it, you're going to be suspended and not even know it. And that's suspended in the 3rd degree because you have an ability to reissue. That's why it's 3rd degree. But it's a 90-day in jail max and a $1,000 fine max, and we don't want that to happen. So you have to remember, if you get a traffic ticket, not a parking ticket, I'm talking a driving ticket, it could be tabs would count, you need to respond to that, or you get suspended, speeding, etc., etc. If you just forget about it, or you don't respond to the ticket, or you do respond and you don't show up at a court date, you're going to get your license suspended, and that is really bad. So what's the second way people get their license suspended and they don't necessarily know about it? Well, is they miss a court date. So maybe you did request that hearing for mitigation or contested hearing where you want to fight about it, and you never got the notice in the mail about what the court date is. They have to set a court date within 120 days of the date of the violation. You never got the notice, or you just forgot about it and didn't go to court. Well, if you fail to respond to that court date, even if you send in the ticket, you're also going to get your license suspended. Additionally, if you have a criminal traffic case, DUI, reckless driving, hit and run, something like that, and you don't show up for your criminal court date, you're going to get a warrant for your arrest, but you're also going to have a suspended license. So number 1 and 2 here, what are we talking about? Respond to your tickets and show up for court. And most people don't know, if you fail to do that, you get a suspended license. And again, an officer is able to pull you over for no other reason than your license is suspended. They're allowed to run license plates, and then they can see who the registered owner is. They put it in their mobile data computer, the license plate number. Oh, Mr. Smith is the registered owner. Oh, Mr. Smith's license is suspended. Oh, there's a male driving the car. I'm going to pull over that car and see if that's Mr. Smith. If so, Mr. Smith is getting arrested. Mr. Smith may not have even known they were suspended because, number 1, they didn't pay a ticket, or they missed a court date. So, number 3, what's another way that someone could get suspended? And I'm going to put 2 matters in here, I think, as number 3, because I just thought of another one. It's not having insurance and being in a traffic accident, or failure to pay child support. Lance, what are you talking about? A traffic accident where I don't have insurance can get me suspended, or if I don't pay my child support, I can get suspended? Yes. On the traffic accidents type thing, if we don't have insurance, typically what can happen is then the insurance company of the other driver may petition the state to suspend your license until you settle up with them about for what they think you owe them for the accident. And the DOL, Department of Licensing, will say, hey, you're suspended until you deal with the liability that we think you have for the accident because you're supposed to carry insurance and you weren't, and now we're going to punish you and make you pay by suspending your license until you do pay. Similarly, if there's a failure to pay child support, Department of Licensing can be brought into this, and they could coerce someone into paying their child support by suspending their driver's license. So those are two ways, and in those, it's typically a higher level of suspension, so it's even worse if you get suspended for that reason. So finally, number 4, what you have to realize is that certain criminal convictions will also suspend your driver's license. If you're convicted of driving under the influence, if you're convicted of vehicular assault, vehicular homicide, of course that would suspend your license. Reckless driving convictions will suspend your license, and one that a lot of people don't know about, hit and run attended vehicle will suspend your license. So the lengths of time vary. DUI could be 90 days or a year or 2 years. Hit and run attended a year. Reckless driving 30 days. It can vary, but if you are intending to plead guilty to a DUI or any other type of criminal traffic matter, make sure you check with your attorney to find out what the consequences of your license suspension are. And the corollary to that is if you blow over the limit for a DUI, you could get an administrative suspension, or if you refuse a breath test or a blood test on a DUI, you can also get an administrative suspension. So those are the 4+ ways that you can get suspended. There are some more, but those are the most common ones. And how do you clear up a suspension? Well, typically you remedy whatever the problem is. If it was not paying the ticket, you pay the ticket. If it's not showing up for court, we'll get another court date set up where you can remedy that situation. If it's not having insurance, we'll pay off the judgment. If it's the child support, get caught up on the child support. If you're convicted of a crime, you might have to wait the suspension out, or you might be eligible for an ignition interlock license. So these are the ways that we can get suspended. Take everything seriously when it comes to our license. It's so critical we drive nowadays. And if you have a legal problem, feel free to reach out to my firm. Again, my firm's been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington State for more than 20 years. If you have a Washington State matter, feel free to reach out. We'll listen to what happened, we'll identify a way forward, and we will be there for you. Thank you.